This is the plaintiff, Ralph Perfetto. He says he's a private investigator who was hired by the defendant to investigate allegations her two sons raped a girl at a party they threw. He did his job, found they were not the ones responsible, and kept them out of jail. The defendant has stiffed him on the balance of his fee. It's very frustrating to be treated this way, and he just wants his $379.97. This is the defendant, Amy Kuka. She says she paid the plaintiff for his services, and 2 weeks after the trial was complete, she got another bill from him. She has no idea what this additional money is for. She never got a straight answer from him and isn't paying. She's accused of irritating a private eye.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff is a PI whom the defendant hired to find out if her two sons raped a woman. He says he didn't get paid in full, but the defendant says she paid the guy and he's trying to double charge. It's the case of double trouble.
Ralph Perfetto,
Yes.
you are suing Amy Kuka for $379.97, the balance of private investigator fees that you say she owes you and refuses to pay. Tell me what happened.
On January 19, 2009, I was summoned to the lawyer's office regarding an allegation that her two sons had raped a young woman in their apartment during a pre-New Year holiday party that was attended by 8 males and 3 females. The attorney, they had retained the attorney, and as part of his contract with them, he brought me in. The defendant and her husband were there. They agreed and that they were to pay me directly for my services. Her husband gave me $500 cash. I began my investigation immediately.
How had the case even arisen? The girl called the police from the party or the next day?
No, what had happened was she came down, she was out, and she didn't tell her boyfriend that she was out at this party. She got drunk. They were all drinking. And she went down. And when she went home, her boyfriend questioned, "Where were you?" And she said, "They got me drunk at this party." The boyfriend came, punched in a window at the front door of their building. They're in an apartment building. Police were summoned, and she recounted her story, the allegation that she was raped by one of her two sons. And so they were arrested.
Both of the sons were arrested?
Yes.
What was the other son arrested for? She said she was...
Well, originally the younger one was the one who she was encountered with. They were both of the same age. Both of them were 17 years old.
Well, I'm sorry, what did she say? That both of them raped her or that one of them raped her?
Both on the same charge. Then one was released. I believe he was...
What were your two sons charged with?
They were accused for rape.
Both of them were charged with rape?
Yes.
The whole time? That's how it went to trial?
That's what she did.
That's what she said? Right,
she said,
okay.
Yes.
So, and I take it from the way you described it that you don't believe it happened, that you think that
Correct.
This woman was... And it's a matter of fact, so that we're very clear, what happened at trial?
Yeah, they were innocent.
They were found not guilty,
Yes,
right?
not guilty.
Yes.
Okay, I imagine that must have been hellacious for you and your family, right? How long were the charges hanging over your heads like that?
2 years and 6 months.
Oh, no, really? Oh, boy, the wheels of justice grind very slowly. 2 years and 6 months. Why would it take that long? All right, now, you were charging her how much an hour?
$50 an hour.
And your investigation consisted of what generally?
Well, the first thing I did was I photographed the room where the rape allegedly took place, measured it, looked at the lighting, etc.
She was underage, right? She's
Yes.
17. There had been a lot of drinking going on,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Where were you guys when all this drinking was going on in your house? Just out of curiosity.
I was back home. My father was very sick.
And where was your husband?
My boys were working, both of them. And their father, he was in Connecticut. But my sister lives like 5-6 blocks away. And they slept over at my sister's house because it was like 10 days. I was only away for 10 days. And what happened?
Then they had a party at the house because there was no.
What happened was, they were playing like video games and they brought some alcohol.
All right, so go ahead.
So it was in the dark because she stated that she told the fellow to put on the light. When I measured the furniture, there was 29 inches from the wall.
She told what fellow? Her assailant?
Her assailant.
To put on the light?
As he was leaving the room.
She
Yes.
tells her assailant to it. So was it a statutory rape issue? Or was it I don't get it. What was
She was not
Your Honor, I'm not a lawyer. I'm an
No, but
investigator.
what were they charged with if she's calmly telling someone, put on the light on your way out? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what the charge was.
because she wasn't raped.
No, I know, but what was,
Oh.
okay, and that may be it, but they were, all right, go ahead.
All right, so what I did is I went after the 8 fellas, her 2 sons, and through a process of elimination, there was one of them who matched her oldest son's description. And the other fellas told me that he used the oldest son's name to go into the room.
Some of the witnesses told you that this one person who matched the description
Right.
had used her younger son's
Her
name when
oldest son's name.
her older son's name when
Right.
he went into the room in order to what? Have consensual sex with the girl?
Yes.
Okay.
And her youngest son was out of the apartment because he was inebriated. He wanted to become engaged or whatever it was in that activity, but he went to a convenience store a block away to try to buy Viagra over a counter at 17 years old.
So do people frequently get falsely accused of rape? What do you think?
They do.
You think they do?
Yes. There's been a case just recently where they've done it.
I mean, I know it happens, but do you think it's frequent occasionally? What do you think?
I think it is. I think depending on what's at stake.
Well, what's at stake is freedom. Do you think people frequently get falsely accused?
People, yeah, they do.
You know, it is interesting because it's not just as simple as looking at who gets convicted and who doesn't. And we are going to go inside the courtroom and out for the decision.
So he was out of the apartment,
Okay.
okay? The assailant went
So
in.
give me a
used-
general idea of what your work entailed then. It's speaking to all of these witnesses.
Yes. I then sent that information to the detective squad of the local precinct on that character.
But they didn't drop it.
No.
Right. Okay. Now, she did pay a bill of yours.
She
They paid
paid me.
$1,500 for your services.
Yes. What happened
The
was
additional $379.97 represents what?
on 4/9/11, April the 9th of 11, I received a call from the defendant. She had hired a new attorney.
Okay, so tell me what the $379.97 represents. It represents the meeting with is this the third or the second attorney?
The third attorney.
Third attorney.
Going after one reluctant witness and getting 2 cooperating witnesses right in the
No,
building.
wait, you're talking to me about the other stuff you've already been paid for.
No, not that. No. There were people who had witnesses in her building who weren't there when it happened, but would testify to the good character of her sons. And I went after a reluctant witness, a young boy who had,
What does went after mean?
I went to his home,
Okay.
okay, and I recorded him, and I brought that information back because he had had consensual sex with her the night before she went to that party.
Okay, so it's the $379.97 represents extra how many hours?
6.5 hours,
Okay,
yes.
all right, and that's time that it's
6.5 hours
and-
plus tax.
Okay, and that's time that it took you to go over, get character witnesses, 2 character witnesses, and get the reluctant witness to give you a
and then go to
take
court to
statement.
testify.
And also go to court now with, did you actually end up testifying?
No.
But the lawyer wanted you there just
He
in case to
wanted
call
me
you
there
as
to
a
bring
witness.
my photos,
All right.
my report,
Ms. Cooper,
etc.
let me hear your side of things. I don't know that we need to rehash the charges against your son. Clearly, they were found not guilty. I have to imagine that was a load off your shoulders when you heard that verdict.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened? Why won't you pay this man's bill?
I pay him like $17,000.
You paid him $17,000?
The other lawyer,
Oh, okay.
I spent all that.
Yeah.
And I paid him the first time. And I had to hire a second lawyer, which costed me $25,000.
I know, but that's not on him.
I
This
know.
is thanks to your sons having a party they shouldn't
Yeah.
have had.
Yes.
Whoever were taking
Yes.
care of your teenage sons, not taking care of them appropriately. Me, if I had to leave and my kids were with their aunt, I would change a lock on the door.
I know.
That's what because honestly, because this is what kids do. And when there's underage drinking and all that, that's, this shouldn't happen. Hopefully they could just get away with their transgressions in life without large consequences. But sometimes there are large consequences to transgressions. That is not on him how much you paid a bunch of other lawyers. Why won't you pay this man the $379.97 left for the additional work that he did?
My son was working and he got upset that I left his father. He moved with him and I was going through some financial.
Oh, okay. So financially, okay. But do you believe that you owe this money, or do you believe you don't owe this money because you've already paid enough, or what is your defense?
my defense is just, it's a lot going on. And like I said, my oldest son wanted his father to live, and my other son lost a job because of all this stuff going on, and he couldn't find another job. He's going through depression right now because he didn't finish the school. All this stuff going on was a lot for him. He was in jail. And I've been going to doctors.
Was one of your sons in jail for the 2.5 years?
He was in jail for 52 days.
Oh, okay.
And he was only 17. So now he's in depression and all that. And that's the reason. And I'm on Social Security right now and in public assistance, which I didn't have money to pay him.
Okay.
And I just...
Okay, and your answer to the complaint, you said, I don't owe him any more money. It was his choice to come to court, even though he didn't need to. What do you mean by, please put your hand down.
I only
Put your hand down.
I only meant that because he didn't testify.
He didn't testify.
That's,
right.
I felt.
But you know how this works, right?
know,
Let me tell you what the lawyers do. I know because I was a trial lawyer. You want all your witnesses standing out there with little bells on, waiting for when the judge says, call your next witness.
I understand.
Because you can't say, call your next witness and say, sure, hold on, wait. It's going to take them 20 minutes to get, that's not how it works in court.
I know.
So that's, you need to understand that I know this was a horrible thing to have happen in your lives. Mercifully, it ended up the way it sounds like it should have, okay?
Yes,
so it could be worse. But, that doesn't mean that you don't pay the bill. You have to pay the bill. And I hope that your sons are getting whatever counseling they need to get to get through all of this. Because it's a long life, and there's a lot to looking forward. There's a lot, and you sound like you're a good mom who has their best interests at heart. You've worked hard to try to get all that done. I am going to have to enter a judgment against you though for the money, and you're going to have to pay it when you have the funds to pay it. $379.97. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff has collected here in the People's Court, and the defendant comes out here on the losing end of Judge Million's verdict. What's your reaction to this? He deserves the money, right?
He deserves the money.
Did the work.
He did the work. I respect him for everything he did.
How grateful are you to him for his contribution to getting your son?
He did everything. He was there when I ever needed him. I was just disappointed because I didn't have the money to pay him. And
Well, you had all that other money, the thousands and thousands for the
those
lawyers.
are the money that their father helped him. Didn't come out nothing from my pocket because I don't work. I'm on the Social Security right now.
All right, well, good luck with everything, all right? To right this way, okay? You head right down there. All right, and so the private investigator comes out, all right? You had to go to court to get your money. What's your reaction to this?
Well, she's a good woman, and the time that she's speaking about, the time that I went on my own, after that day, I went there for 3 days that the jury was in deliberation at my own expense. I certainly didn't charge her because I wanted to see that those kids were acquitted, and they were. And her oldest son, when they came out of the court, he came out, put his arms around me and cried, and he said, "Thank you for believing in me," through all of that.
Harvey?
I got to say, rape is a horrible, horrendous thing. But when somebody is falsely accused, it seems to me that the person who did the false accusing should be prosecuted because that person ruined a life. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.